Today's AskReddit post. Men of Reddit, what is the hardest thing to explain to a woman? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. Why is it hard? And why is it not getting hard? Often the answer to either question is I have no idea. It just is. And getting older I feel this too much. Girl on top of me and the soldier is just like nah, not today Bacaro. I'm not angry. I just don't have anything to say. Just wanna be left alone so I can deal with my shit without hurting you cause I'm in a bad mood. It's hard to say it in that moment, but the best would be to say I am in a mood but I want to sort it out myself for now. I will ask for help if I need it and I promise this mood is only temporary. For good measure. Also add, the reason for my mood is not caused by you. You've done nothing wrong. I love you. 50 points for this sentence alone. That's all they want to hear. Just because I don't have tears running down my face doesn't mean I'm not as sad as you. This hit me deep. Sometimes men seem so emotionally tuned out or have such a good poker face so I can't tell. Makes me sad to think all the times it looked as though someone didn't care that maybe they were really sad too. Sometimes I feel like I should be crying but I'll be right on the edge and nothing comes of it. Feels really unsatisfying. Like I've cried and you feel better after but it's just the constant need to cry whilst being unable to. Yes, same shit for me, it's like a big sneeze that won't come out. So frustrating. I don't always want to be the one that initiates sex. It makes me feel like a creep. One of the fun ways I initiate sex with my boyfriend is by turning to him and saying hocus pocus. Let me strocus. Works half the time. How does that not work 100% of the time? Maybe she tries it in public places. Your point? Why I don't know what the duck my best friend is up to in life even after hanging out with him all day. Me on the phone with my best friend for an hour. My wife, how's he doing? Me, fine. My wife, I thought he was sick last month and got laid off from his old job. But I heard he was doing better and found a new job. Me, yeah, so he's fine. Bro, when I'm on the phone with my friends we don't even greet. Where? House? Come. Okay. End. Seriously, you don't need a lot of conversation. Me. Coming over later? Friend, yeah, I'll leave in 10. Me. Cool. Doors unlocked. 10-second calls. Call. Number. Text. Yes. Why I'm hard? No, I'm not horny. I wasn't thinking of anything. I was reading about the fall of the Roman Empire. Okay. It just does that. What part of the Roman Empire do you find most sexually arousing? The part where Julius Caesar gets penetrated over and over again by all his friends. Fun fact. He only sustained 3 wounds while alive. I believe it was 1 in the shoulder, 1 in the abdomen, and 1 in the groin. The last was Brutus. The rest of the conspirators lined up and took turns stabbing his lifeless body. Perhaps not so fun a fact. He's dead already but I really wanted a turn to stab that ducker. Ain't no death gonna stop me from that. Semicolon some Roman dude back then. Probably. Hints don't work. Just tell us what's up. If we say we're doing nothing, nothing is not a void to be filled. Nothing is the activity and we love it. Do you have anything going on this weekend? I have nothing planned. Great. We should. Let me clarify. I plan to do nothing. Nailed it. I may alternate doing nothing with the following activities. Video game. Reading. Cooking. Eating. Sleeping. But my intent is to do that by myself without hearing another voice spoken. My fiance is like this. He is fine with just doing nothing on his days off. I wanna do something with him on his days off but he's fine doing nothing. His time off. He can do what he wants to do and I gotta respect that. Well, it's a two-way street. Just plan ahead with him and do like every other weekend. I'm far more responsive if I've been warned in advance I'm going to need to wear pants. When I talk about my feelings I want to be heard, understood and something to change. When we fight about my feelings it only makes me repress those feelings. How you can actually twitch your penis. All of my lady acquaintances are interested to learn that we have the ability to do so. And now 50% of people reading this are trying to twitch their penis. I just tried twitching my vagina. Kegels for the win. It's gotta be the same muscles, right? It's called scratching your balls, but it's much more of a pinch and twist motion. You're forgetting the stretch and rake. That's how the experts do it. It is entirely possible to listen to everything you say, understand it all, and still forget it 5 minutes later, especially when under pressure. Yep. My emotions. It can't just be me who finds it so hard to express my feelings or emotions. You're not alone on that, DW. People, it's a muscle. It can be trained. We're not afraid of marriage. We're afraid of divorce. Similarly, I'm not afraid of getting into a relationship. I'm not even afraid of asking someone out and getting rejected. I am afraid of being in the relationship for a long time and getting invested and then getting dumped. 5 years single since my first and last relationship went poorly, and it doesn't look like I'll be ready for another relationship anytime soon in the next few years. I dated a woman for 2 years. I treated her kids like my own and watched them grow up for those 2 years. I built playhouses and bought Christmas gifts and read them to sleep. Then the woman and I broke up. I don't miss her, but I miss the kids. I don't ever want to go through that again. I'd rather be single. For me, my feelings. I find it extremely difficult to convey things going on in my head. We're all on this table, bro. Yep. People like to say it's because societal pressure, blah blah blah. But I genuinely believe it's something to do with our brains. We all struggle with it for some reason. I don't think so. I'm a woman and I feel the same way. I think it has a lot to do with how you're raised. I agree. I'm a woman and I've been raised to think my feelings were unimportant. To this day it would be very uncomfortable to talk about feelings with my family. It takes some work to do it with other people, even when feeling uncomfortable or like you're a burden. That nothing is a perfectly legitimate answer to what are you thinking? And what are you doing? And what do you want to do on your day off? My girlfriend sits there and will loudly sigh, grumble, and groan until I ask her what's wrong or what's on her mind. She responds with nothing. Yeah, bullshit. You just made a bunch of noise to get me to ask. Now tell me. One time my ex-wife pulled this shit. So I replied with a clap, and that's great and I'm glad we had that talk. Then I started to walk away. She was pissed and an argument followed, but it was so worth it. I usually respond with, well, I'm here when you're ready to talk about it, and walk off. Yay. That's a good way for a healthy relationship. However, we were in the middle of the bitter end. I didn't care at that point. I was tired of always being wrong all the time, among other things. Edit a word. Your direct and clear hints are not so direct any of the time. And if you aren't my GF, I am not gonna do something that could be sexy or could be creepy, could be jail time, based on what could have been a hint. Which either ends up with them thinking I'm not into them, thinking I'm stupid, or thinking something else and maybe killing a change at a relationship lay, but that's better than scarring a girl if she didn't want me to lean in. Just imagine how bad things could go on a wrong assumption. Exactly my point. Totally ruin a friendship, possibly come off as a sexual assault. All because women continue to entertain hard to get strategy and hints. Or worse, you could end up with a job in Hollywood. If you want something, say it. I don't understand your hints. It took me years to realize that subtle hints are pointless. You gotta be straightforward and say WTF you wanna say without skirting around it. They are pointless not just because they may be missed or misunderstood, but also because they are deliberately ignored. One woman's very obviously hinted interest is another woman's just being friendly. A man who doesn't want to be seen as pushy or creepy will take the safe option and assume the latter. I think he means more along the lines of once you're in the relationship, not so much expressing interest but about anything in general. Just because I'm interested in you doesn't mean I only want your body. The men only want thing bugs me. I think I want the most is love and affection unconditionally. Allow me to project for a moment. Conditional love is better. means both parties are expected to put in the work to get the output they desire. Unconditional love is how you end up with long-term abusive relationships. Enabling and being one of the spouses from the show Hoarders. For a guy who's seen neither, I couldn't tell you the difference. I felt this on an atomic level. Compromise is a two-way street. If you want those pink pastel bedsheets and pink pastel walls, I'm getting the Star Wars lamp. I'd be fine with that compromise. Sounds more than fair to me. I wish my GF was like that. She called it childish and said it would bring down the aesthetic of the room. Can't confidently say that as a woman. She's the childish one. Expecting a pastel pink room and not expecting any objections from your partner is kind of insane. Also, what was the lamp? What it's like peeing with a boner. Sorta like using a hose to water plants. Except the hose is not flexible. So you have to push it down. Except IT doesn't wanna go down. Erect penises don't bend very well. So it is real hard to aim properly. And peeing with a boner sitting down is hard too because, once again, it won't bend down properly. So it's pressing hard against the underside of the seat and sometimes pee goes through the crack between the rim and porcelain. 10/10 do not recommend. Edit. Can't believe that my first award is on a comment talking about boner peeing. Edit. OMG, thanks for the gold. Stranger. I have to bend over the toilet and put my hand on the wall to point it downward and it gets frustrating. Or you do the Superman. Stretch your hands up, body perfectly parallel to the floor and lay on the toilet facing your floor. It's pretty much planking. It's also a nice core workout. Ah yes, a man of class I see. What having sticky sweaty balls feels like but not being able to do anything about it. Why are you walking like that? Because my balls are plastered to my leg. The old bat wings. Just because I am good with kids doesn't make me a pedophile. We have to fix this negative perception in our society. I'm a woman and an elementary school teacher and I often wish my profession was more balanced in terms of gender. Varied role models are so important for kids. But a lot of men are, for good reason, often worried or discouraged by the idea of working with young kids. Because of the fear of being perceived this way, even when they're really good at it and have a strong interest in teaching. It's awful. Male teacher here. It ducking sucks. I've seen a male teacher turned into CPS for potential improper relations with a female student because, and I swear I'm not making this up, 2 female students who were partners on a class project came to his room during lunch to work on their project. So he set them up to work and went and hung out with the teacher next door, with both doors open so the kids could still be supervised. That's literally the exact kind of thing they tell you to do to avoid those kinds of allegations. The hardest thing I ever had to explain is that, if you act distant, I am going to try help resolve whatever is causing that. Telling me nothing is wrong and then starting a fight when I am trying to cuddle and sleep is the wrong time to try and resolve that conflict. Especially when it is something that shouldn't reflect our relationship. The mystery of how a dick works and feels. No one knows, but it's provocative. It gets the people going. Balls so hard. Methodicas wanna find me. Something that has sadly been very relevant to me recently. When I tell you that I go for walks and drives to clear my head, that does not mean that I hate or despise you. I can't sit and watch TV mindlessly. I need to be engaged in something to kinda open up the channel for everything to flow through it again. However, I am well aware of a sad reality where guys use this as means to go and cheat on their good ladies. Thankfully, once people get to know me, they know I am a big car guy. I love walks and hikes. I think most people don't understand when car people say that going for a drive helps clean the mind. I guess it's our way of meditating. I like cars and driving, but I wouldn't say I'm a car girl. But I do the same thing. And my now fiance would always kind of freak out or become skeptical when I'd leave the house just to drive around. But then he started having some issues with anxiety, and I was just like, let me drive you around. And we went down random country roads for hours. Then he got it. You can pop a boner without being aroused. You can get a boner even when you are nervous. You can get a boner while shopping for guns with your buddy, and it isn't weird unless you're touching each other, according to the alphabet of manliness anyways. But when it's at my aunt's funeral it's disgusting. And I'm a creep and I'm into necrophilia. You get the pass if it's your step aunt. Either A, that we too have feelings and need companionship, or B, why I have a boner at her grandma's funeral. Have you tried to explain? B, I could use some notes. I was at her grandma's funeral and there was a hottie in a casket and I couldn't help it. Enough Reddit for today. I just got vectored. How I can spend the entire weekend fishing with my buddy and still not know that his wife died. We're not big talkers. The same way he can spend his entire weekend at peace and with his own thoughts about his dead wife without being asked about it every 5 minutes. Just being with your buddies helps. Not everything needs words. You know what they say. Company is worth 1,000 words. The pain and surprise of accidentally sitting on a testicle. You're going to be fine and you know it. However, for a split second that came into question. I am 20 and never in my life have I ever sat on my balls. IDK maybe they're small. 33 and same experience. I think we're not old enough yet. Depends how big your balls are. 2. Anyways. Yep, just wear some boxer briefs and voila. Problem solved. That explains it. I've always worn boxer briefs. I like the security they give, lol. The lack of intimacy we tend to have and difficulty in expressing emotions, asking for help. This is true and mostly caused by the fact we have been raised with the man up mentality being hammered into our very consciousness. That I just want to stay in and chill this weekend. After a stressful week at work. So much truth. Or if you've been traveling all week. Explaining why I don't want to travel on the weekend too. Why I need to get this toy lightsaber. God, it's not a toy, it's a screen accurate replica. I can literally be sitting there and think about nothing. When she asks what I am thinking about, I say nothing, but she doesn't believe me. In a guy's brain there is a nothing box. I just say snakes and that usually throws M for a loop. Ghouls. We like affection and warmth and flattery sometimes too. Not just sex. Give us a damn compliment. I mean, is it so ducking hard to say something like, did you change the guard on your beard trimmer? Your face feels amazing. Or did you get color contacts? Your eyes are really bright today. A lot of men are very visual based perception. So giving a genuine compliment about their appearance is guaranteed to hit home like Robin Hood's arrow. Also, NSFW. I am not trying to go down on you because I want you to reciprocate. I am trying because the way you sound is turning me on 1,000 times more than a half-hearted blowjob. No, the dress doesn't make you look fat. It's not the dress. So you have chosen death. I chose cake but they were out of it. Yes, because she ate it. We don't have a sniper. We have a shotgun. Especially in the morning for some reason. Always unpredictable. That my female friends are exactly that. Friends. And not threats. The easiest way to handle that with female friends is to have them over to the house for things and to make sure your female friends are friends of the marriage. Not just friends of you. Tip I got from a marriage counselor. Yep. If you keep them separate then yeah, it looks shady. If they can come around and all hang out together it doesn't seem threatening. Yep. Same with guy friends for the wife. If they are friends of the marriage, then cool. If they aren't, there are definitely questions to be asked. Men have feelings too. There's a blue bad in my heart that wants to get out. When you catch her staring, most of the time it's not a conscious choice to look there. Sometimes when you look around a room your eyes see what your eyes see. Women have much better peripheral vision than men, and our vision works better in a more focused way. This is why men get caught looking more often. Driving the other day with my wife and a well-endowed woman comes around the corner jogging. There was more bounce there than the last 15 seconds on a basketball shot clock and there was no way I could not have seen it and I got slugged anyway. That's the most poetic. yet overtly male description of something I've ever read. How much it hurts to get hit in the balls. It doesn't hurt the balls, but the entire lower hemisphere. Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.